Hi everyone. Welcome back to Power of Learning. Today, we will be interpreting the book Karma, a yogi's guide to crafting your own destiny, written by Sadhguru, that explores the concept of karma and how it relates to our lives. The book provides practical guidance for creating positive karma and taking control of our lives, so that we can achieve our goals and live a more fulfilling life. Chapter 1. What is karma? The chapter begins by discussing the meaning of the term karma and its etymological roots in the Sanskrit language. The word karma is derived from the Sanskrit verb kri, which means to do or to act. Thus, karma is often translated as action or deed. Sadhguru notes that karma is a central concept in both Hinduism and Buddhism, and has been a topic of philosophical inquiry and debate for centuries. He explains that the basic principle of karma is that every action we take has a consequence, either in this life or in future lives. The consequences of our actions are not just limited to the physical world, but can also affect our mental and emotional states, as well as our spiritual well-being. According to Sadhguru, there are two types of karma: individual karma and collective karma. Individual karma refers to the consequences of our own actions, while collective karma refers to the consequences of the actions of a group or society. Sadhguru notes that collective karma can be particularly powerful, as it can have a ripple effect that affects many people over time. Sadhguru goes on to explain that the concept of karma is closely related to the idea of dharma, which refers to our duty or purpose in life. He notes that the choices we make in life are shaped by our understanding of dharma and our own sense of purpose. Our actions and decisions are therefore guided by our beliefs, values, and goals. Sadhguru also explores the relationship between karma and the cycle of birth and death in Hinduism and Buddhism. He notes that the ultimate goal of spiritual practice is to break free from the cycle of reincarnation and attain enlightenment or liberation. This can be achieved by purifying one's karma through spiritual practice, such as meditation, yoga, and selfless service. Sadhguru notes that while the concept of karma can be daunting, it is also empowering. By understanding the consequences of our actions, we can take responsibility for our own lives and make conscious choices that align with our values and goals. We can also use our actions to create positive change in the world, both for ourselves and for others. Overall, Chapter 1 of the Karma, a yogi's guide to crafting your own destiny, provides an overview of the concept of karma and its significance in Eastern spiritual traditions. It explores the relationship between karma and dharma, the cycle of birth and death, and the power of individual and collective actions. By understanding the principles of karma, we can take responsibility for our own lives and strive to create positive change in the world. Chapter 2, the Mechanism of Karma. In this chapter, Sadhguru delves deeper into the mechanism of karma, explaining how our actions create imprints or samskaras that influence our future experiences. Sadhguru notes that our actions are not just physical or verbal, but also mental and emotional. These actions create imprints in our consciousness that can influence our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Over time, these imprints become stronger and can shape our personality and destiny. Sadhguru explains that the mechanism of karma operates on different levels, including the physical, mental, emotional, and energetic levels. For example, if we perform an act of kindness towards someone, we create a positive imprint or samskara that can influence our future experiences in a positive way. Similarly, if we engage in harmful behavior, we create a negative samskara that can lead to negative consequences. Sadhguru also notes that our intentions and motivations behind our actions are important factors in determining the karmic consequences. If our actions are driven by selfish or negative intentions, they will create negative samskaras that can lead to suffering. On the other hand, if our actions are motivated by love, compassion, and selflessness, they will create positive samskaras that can lead to joy and fulfillment. Sadhguru explains that karma operates on a subtle level, and its effects may not always be immediately apparent. He notes that karma can accumulate over time, and the consequences of our actions may manifest in future lives or in subtle ways in our current life. He also explains that karma can be modified or transformed through spiritual practice, such as meditation, yoga, and selfless service. Overall, Chapter 2 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny provides a deeper understanding of the mechanism of karma and how our actions create imprints or samskaras that influence our future experiences. It emphasizes the importance of our intentions and motivations in determining the karmic consequences of our actions, and highlights the potential for transformation through spiritual practice. Chapter 3, The Root of Karma. In this chapter, Sadhguru explores the root of karma and its relationship to the individual self and the larger universe. Sadhguru notes that the root of karma lies in the fundamental duality of the universe, the interplay between the individual self and the larger cosmic whole. He explains that the individual self, or jiva in Hinduism, is the unit of consciousness that experiences the world and interacts with it through actions. The cosmic whole, or Brahman, is the infinite, all-encompassing consciousness that permeates everything. Sadhguru notes that karma arises from the tension between these two aspects of reality. The individual self seeks to assert its identity and agency through action, while the cosmic whole seeks to maintain its own equilibrium and order. The consequences of these actions create imprints or samskaras that influence the future experiences of the individual self. Sadhguru emphasizes that karma is not a punishment or reward system, but rather a natural consequence of our actions. He notes that the purpose of karma is not to judge or condemn us, but to help us learn and grow through our experiences. Through the consequences of our actions, we gain insight into our own nature and the nature of the world around us. Sadhguru also explores the relationship between karma and desire. He notes that desire is a natural aspect of the individual self, and that our desires drive our actions. However, when desire becomes excessive or selfish, it can lead to negative consequences and create negative samskaras. Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of cultivating detachment from our desires and cultivating a sense of inner peace and contentment. Sadhguru also notes that the root of karma lies in the concept of Maya in Hinduism, which refers to the illusory nature of the world. Maya creates the illusion of separateness between the individual self and the larger universe, leading to a sense of isolation and ego-driven action. Through spiritual practice, such as meditation and self-inquiry, we can pierce the veil of Maya and experience the true nature of reality as interconnected and unified. Finally, Sadhguru notes that the root of karma lies in our own consciousness. He explains that the quality of our consciousness determines the nature of our actions and the consequences they create. If our consciousness is clouded by ignorance and selfishness, our actions will create negative samskaras. But if our consciousness is clear and expansive, our actions will create positive samskaras that lead to growth and evolution. Overall, Chapter 3 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny provides a deep exploration of the root of karma and its relationship to the individual self and the larger universe. It emphasizes the natural and neutral nature of karma as a consequence of our actions, and highlights the importance of cultivating detachment from our desires and expanding our consciousness through spiritual practice. Chapter 4, Understanding the Karmic Wheel. In this chapter, Sadhguru explores the concept of the karmic wheel and how it relates to the cycle of birth and death in Hinduism. Sadhguru notes that the karmic wheel represents the cycle of cause and effect that governs our lives. Every action we take, every thought we have, creates an impression or samskara that influences our future experiences. These samskaras accumulate over time and shape our destiny, both in this life and beyond. Sadhguru explains that the karmic wheel is made up of three main components: karma, samsara, and moksha. Karma is the law of cause and effect that governs our actions and their consequences. Samsara is the cycle of birth and death that we are all caught up in, driven by our karmic imprints. Moksha is the ultimate liberation from this cycle, achieved through spiritual realization and the dissolution of our ego-driven identity. Sadhguru notes that the karmic wheel is often depicted as a circle with various realms or lokas, each representing a different level of consciousness and experience. The human realm is just one of many, and our position on the wheel is determined by our past actions and the quality of our consciousness. Sadhguru emphasizes that the purpose of the karmic wheel is not to punish or reward us, but rather to help us evolve and grow as spiritual beings. Through our experiences, we learn and develop, gradually shedding our ego-driven identity and realizing our true nature as infinite consciousness. Sadhguru notes that the karmic wheel is closely linked to the concept of dharma in Hinduism, which refers to our innate sense of purpose and duty in life. When we align our actions with our dharma, we create positive samskaras and move closer to liberation. When we act against our dharma, we create negative samskaras and become more entangled in the cycle of birth and death. Sadhguru also explores the concept of karma yoga, which is a path of spiritual practice that involves performing actions without attachment to the outcome. By focusing on the process rather than the result, we can gradually detach from our ego-driven desires and create positive samskaras that lead to spiritual growth. Overall, Chapter 4 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a detailed exploration of the karmic wheel and its role in the cycle of birth and death in Hinduism. It emphasizes the neutral nature of karma as a natural consequence of our actions, and highlights the importance of aligning our actions with our dharma and cultivating detachment from our desires. Chapter 5, The Power of Karma. In this chapter by Sadhguru focuses on the power of karma and how it affects our lives. Sadhguru begins the chapter by reiterating the fundamental principle of karma, that every action we take creates a karmic impression that influences our future experiences. He notes that karma is not a punishment or reward system, but rather a natural consequence of our actions that operates without judgment or bias. Sadhguru then explores the idea that we can use our understanding of karma to take greater control over our lives. He notes that while we cannot control all the external circumstances of our lives, we can control our actions and the karmic imprints they create. By becoming more conscious of our actions and their consequences, we can begin to shape our destiny in a more intentional way. Sadhguru also emphasizes the importance of accepting responsibility for our actions and their consequences. He notes that many people are quick to blame external factors for their problems, but fail to recognize the role that their own actions may have played in creating those problems. By accepting responsibility for our actions, we can begin to take greater control over our lives and create a more positive karmic trajectory. The chapter also explores the idea of collective karma, that the actions of groups or societies can create karmic imprints that influence the destiny of all those involved. Sadhguru notes that we are all part of various social, cultural, and national identities that shape our consciousness and behavior. By becoming more conscious of these identities and their karmic implications, we can begin to work towards creating positive change on a collective level. Finally, Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of inner transformation as a means of creating positive karma. He notes that while we can take actions in the external world to create positive karmic imprints, true transformation must come from within. By cultivating inner stillness, clarity, and awareness, we can begin to shed the negative karmic imprints that hold us back and create a more positive future for ourselves and those around us. Overall, Chapter 5 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a powerful reminder of the power of karma and its potential to shape our lives. By becoming more conscious of our actions and their consequences, accepting responsibility for our choices, and cultivating inner transformation, we can begin to take greater control over our destiny and create a more positive future for ourselves and the world around us. Chapter 6, Action, Inaction, and Beyond. In this chapter, Sadhguru explores the concepts of action and inaction, and how they relate to karma. Sadhguru begins the chapter by noting that while karma is often associated with action, it is equally influenced by inaction. He notes that even when we choose not to act, we are still creating a karmic imprint based on our intentions and the energy we bring to a situation. This is because the universe responds not only to our physical actions, but also to our thoughts and emotions. Sadhguru then explores the idea that action and inaction are not necessarily opposites, but rather different expressions of the same energy. He notes that even when we are not physically active, we are still expending energy through our thoughts and emotions. By becoming more conscious of our internal energy and how it influences our actions and inactions, we can begin to take greater control over our karma. The chapter also explores the concept of detachment, which is often associated with spiritual practice. Sadhguru notes that detachment does not mean disengagement from the world, but rather a shift in our internal orientation towards action and inaction. By becoming detached from the outcomes of our actions, we can act with greater clarity and focus on the present moment, rather than becoming consumed by the past or future. Sadhguru also discusses the idea that there are certain actions that are inherently positive or negative, and that these actions create corresponding karmic imprints. For example, acts of violence or cruelty create negative karmic imprints, while acts of kindness and compassion create positive karmic imprints. However, Sadhguru notes that even apparently positive actions can create negative karmic imprints if they are done for the wrong reasons or with an attached expectation of reward. The chapter also explores the concept of karma yoga, which is a spiritual path that emphasizes the importance of selfless action as a means of spiritual growth. Karma yoga involves acting with detachment from the outcomes of our actions, and focusing on the service of others rather than our own desires or ego. By practicing karma yoga, we can begin to cultivate a more positive karmic trajectory and align our actions with the highest good. Sadhguru also discusses the idea that ultimately, true freedom from karma involves transcending the concept of action and inaction altogether. He notes that when we identify too strongly with our actions or inactions, we become trapped in a cycle of cause and effect that creates further karma. However, when we become aware of our true nature as pure consciousness, we can begin to act from a place of pure awareness and detachment, without creating new karmic imprints. Overall, Chapter 6 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a deeper understanding of the complex relationship between action, inaction, and karma. By becoming more conscious of our internal energy and the intentions behind our actions and inactions, we can begin to take greater control over our karma and create a more positive future for ourselves and those around us. Chapter 7, Breaking the Karmic Loop. In this chapter, Sadhguru explores the idea of breaking the karmic loop and freeing ourselves from the patterns of the past. Sadhguru begins the chapter by noting that our past actions and experiences create a karmic imprint that influences our present and future. This karmic imprint can be positive or negative, depending on the nature of our past actions. However, even positive karma can become a burden if we become attached to it or identified with it. The chapter explores the idea that breaking the karmic loop involves becoming aware of our patterns and conditioning, and consciously choosing to act in new and different ways. Sadhguru notes that this process requires a willingness to let go of our attachments to the past and to embrace the unknown. It also requires a deep trust in the universe and its ability to guide us towards our highest good. The chapter also explores the role of meditation in breaking the karmic loop. Sadhguru notes that meditation can help us become more aware of our internal patterns and conditioning, and can help us cultivate a sense of detachment from our past experiences. Through meditation, we can begin to see ourselves and our lives from a broader perspective, and can begin to make choices that align with our highest good. Sadhguru also discusses the idea that breaking the karmic loop involves becoming more conscious of our intentions and the energy we bring to a situation. By focusing on the present moment and acting with detachment from the outcomes of our actions, we can begin to create a new karmic trajectory that aligns with our highest good. The chapter also explores the idea that breaking the karmic loop involves developing a sense of surrender and trust in the universe. Sadhguru notes that when we become too attached to our desires and expectations, we can create new karma that keeps us trapped in old patterns. However, when we surrender to the universe and trust that it will guide us towards our highest good, we can begin to break free from the karmic loop and create a more positive future. Overall, Chapter 7 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a deeper understanding of how we can break the karmic loop and free ourselves from the patterns of the past. By becoming more aware of our patterns and conditioning, and consciously choosing to act in new and different ways, we can create a more positive karmic trajectory and align our actions with our highest good. Chapter 8, The Art of Right Action. Sadhguru delves into the concept of right action, and how it can help us to create positive karma and align our lives with our deepest values. Sadhguru begins the chapter by highlighting the importance of acting in accordance with our true nature, rather than simply following external rules or expectations. He notes that when we act in alignment with our innermost truth, we create positive karma that helps us to achieve our goals and live a more fulfilling life. The chapter goes on to explore the idea of dharma, or right action, in more depth. Sadhguru notes that dharma is not a rigid set of rules or principles, but rather a dynamic and ever-evolving concept that reflects our unique path in life. He suggests that by tuning into our intuition and inner wisdom, we can gain a deeper understanding of our dharma and act in a way that is aligned with our highest good. The chapter also examines the role of intention in right action. Sadhguru notes that our intentions are a powerful force that shape our reality and create the karma that determines our future. He suggests that by cultivating pure and selfless intentions, we can create positive karma that helps us to achieve our goals and live a more meaningful life. Sadhguru also emphasizes the importance of being fully present and engaged in our actions, rather than simply going through the motions. He suggests that by approaching every action with a sense of mindfulness and awareness, we can create positive karma and align our lives with our deepest values. The chapter concludes with a discussion of the role of service in right action. Sadhguru notes that when we act in service of others, we create positive karma that helps us to achieve our own goals and live a more fulfilling life. He suggests that by focusing on the needs of others and working to make a positive impact in the world, we can create a virtuous cycle of positive karma that benefits everyone around us. Overall, Chapter 8 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a detailed exploration of the concept of right action, and how it can help us to create positive karma and align our lives with our deepest values. By cultivating pure intentions, being fully present in our actions, and acting in service of others, we can create a more meaningful and fulfilling life that reflects our true nature. Chapter 9, Karma Yoga, The Path of Action. This chapter Sadhguru focuses on the practice of Karma Yoga, which is the path of selfless action and service. Sadhguru begins the chapter by explaining the central idea of Karma Yoga, which is to perform our actions without being attached to the results or outcomes. He notes that by acting in this way, we can create positive karma that helps us to achieve our goals and align our lives with our deepest values. The chapter goes on to explore the idea of selfless service in more depth. Sadhguru notes that by focusing on the needs of others, we can create positive karma that benefits everyone around us. He suggests that by cultivating a sense of compassion and empathy, we can become more attuned to the needs of others and find ways to serve them in meaningful ways. The chapter also discusses the importance of mindfulness and awareness in Karma Yoga. Sadhguru notes that by approaching our actions with a sense of mindfulness and attention, we can create positive karma and align our lives with our deepest values. He suggests that by focusing on the present moment and being fully engaged in our actions, we can create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Sadhguru also explores the idea of detachment in Karma Yoga. He notes that by letting go of our attachment to the results of our actions, we can create positive karma that helps us to achieve our goals and align our lives with our deepest values. He suggests that by acting with a sense of detachment and surrender, we can open ourselves up to new possibilities and experiences that can help us to grow and evolve. The chapter concludes with a discussion of the role of faith in Karma Yoga. Sadhguru notes that by cultivating a sense of faith and devotion, we can create positive karma that helps us to achieve our goals and live a more fulfilling life. He suggests that by trusting in the universe and surrendering to the divine will, we can create a sense of peace and harmony in our lives that helps us to navigate even the most challenging situations. Overall, Chapter 9 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides a detailed exploration of the practice of Karma Yoga, and how it can help us to create positive karma and align our lives with our deepest values. By cultivating a sense of selfless service, mindfulness, detachment, and faith, we can create a more meaningful and fulfilling life that reflects our true nature. Chapter 10, The Way Forward, Creating Your Own Destiny. Sadhguru discusses how we can take control of our lives and create our own destiny through the power of karma. The chapter begins with a discussion of the importance of taking responsibility for our own lives. Sadhguru notes that we are the creators of our own destiny, and that by taking ownership of our thoughts and actions, we can shape our lives in meaningful ways. He suggests that by becoming more aware of our patterns of thought and behavior, we can identify areas of our lives that need improvement and take steps to make positive changes. Sadhguru also explores the concept of intention and how it relates to creating positive karma. He notes that by setting clear intentions for our lives, we can create a sense of direction and purpose that helps us to achieve our goals. He suggests that by aligning our intentions with our deepest values and desires, we can create a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction that extends beyond our material achievements. The chapter also discusses the role of discipline in creating positive karma. Sadhguru notes that by cultivating a sense of discipline and self-control, we can create positive habits that help us to achieve our goals and live a more fulfilling life. He suggests that by setting clear boundaries and routines, we can create a sense of structure and stability that supports our personal growth and development. The chapter concludes with a discussion of the importance of cultivating a sense of gratitude and appreciation. Sadhguru notes that by focusing on the blessings in our lives and expressing gratitude for them, we can create positive karma that attracts more abundance and positivity into our lives. He suggests that by cultivating a sense of appreciation for the present moment, we can create a sense of peace and contentment that helps us to navigate even the most challenging situations. Overall, Chapter 10 of Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny, provides practical guidance for taking control of our lives and creating our own destiny through the power of karma. By taking responsibility for our thoughts and actions, setting clear intentions, cultivating discipline and gratitude, and aligning our lives with our deepest values, we can create a more meaningful and fulfilling life that reflects our true nature. Conclusion. In conclusion, Karma, A Yogi's Guide to Crafting Your Own Destiny is a valuable resource for anyone seeking to take control of their lives and create positive karma. The book provides practical guidance for cultivating self-awareness, setting clear intentions, cultivating discipline and gratitude, and aligning our lives with our deepest values. By following the